Hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. Sometimes the best thing for us is space. It's hard to navigate our next steps when we're smothered by spiderwebs. Today on rSpace, let's learn how to carefully calculate our next move against our very unsuspecting enemies. I am a completely unsuspecting fool. After 38 years of marriage, 3 grown married children, and 5 precious grandchildren, she pulls this crap. I have worked my butt off to finally be debt-free and 2 years away from retirement. She tells me she is in Arizona for an educators conference she is required to attend. I dropped her lying butt off at the airport with plans to pick her up Thursday. A coworker of mine is in Vegas for a PBR event. He sends me a picture of her in a casino with our primary care physician. So, it's Christmas and all the kids are coming here. I have looked forward to hunting with my son and grandsons. I don't know if I should blow the thing to hell or play it cool until after Christmas. I guess I could gather more evidence if I just pick her up and act as if all is well. I'm not sure I can do that, but the other choice is to devastate my children at a terrible time of the year. This witch sang a solo in church Sunday before she caught a flight on Monday to spend the week effing the doctor. I have never suspected her cheating in over 40 years of our relationship. I dang sure never have. I guess the life I was so secure in is over. I'm glad my parents are not here to see this. I may just catch a flight tomorrow and find their butt. Probably use different names. The hell of it is, both my brothers are dead and there's nobody I can tell this crap to. Maybe a pastor. Hell, she is probably blowing him too. Update. Thanks to everyone for your support over the last few days. I have received many messages asking for updates. I have also been given good advice, and it has given me the opportunity to vent at a time I have to act as if all is well. 1. I took some time off from work and am at my camp. 2. My wife's sister picked her up at the airport Thursday evening. 3. I hired a lawyer and a PI recommended by the lawyer. 4. I have not confronted my wife, nor have I told anyone about the pictures from Vegas other than my lawyers and Reddit. 5. My wife believes I am at the camp because a big buck I have hunted for a couple of seasons is back on my plot cameras. 6. We have talked by phone and texted several times, just ordinary conversation. She has no reason to suspect I have started an investigation into her trip or her life. Every communication has ended with "I love you," just as it always has. 7. I have followed my lawyer's advice concerning our financial position. 8. The PI has already informed me he was able to confirm an affair has existed between her and the doctor for over a year. We will learn in time how long it has gone on. 9. She did not attend a conference in Arizona. She spent every night she was gone in Vegas. I intend to confront her when the PI completes his investigation. We believe they will meet since I am out of town. I intend to give them ample opportunity to do so before I come home. I was not aware that most affairs occur in the demographic group of 55 to 70 years old. I thought we had a very good marriage. She seemed content with where we were in life, and I believe she loved me as I did her. I loved her completely. Everything seems so surreal. Each day has brought things to light I never would have imagined. I guess at this point I want to know how many years of my life have been a lie, and why the life we had was not enough. Why was I not enough? Why was our children and grandchildren not enough? She is a beautiful woman. I always thought it was inside and out. I'm going to divorce her. There is no path to reconciliation. I'm not sure how scorched earth I will go. I'm very angry at both of them. I will confront the doctor and his wife together. I can't say today exactly what else I will do. I think I have to take it one step at a time. And the first step is to learn as much as I can before they have a chance to collaborate their stories. He may just be the latest in line. I'm not sure why I posted on Reddit, but I'm glad I did. I wish I had chosen different language and apologize for the profanity. Thanks again for your support. I appreciate your concern from a stranger. I'm so sorry, OP. I think it was a smart move to not pick her up and take some space from her, so you can figure out your next steps. You have every right to be angry and feel the way you do. And so far, you're making all the right moves. Sometimes the best thing we can do is get some time away so we can think clearly and really make sense of what's going on around us. Update 2. I'm going home tonight. My mother-in-law is 84 and has been widowed for 12 years. She will be devastated by my wife's cheating. My wife has 3 married sisters who are all in long-term marriages. They are coming to our house for Christmas tomorrow night. I have grilled steaks for them since my father-in-law died every Christmas. If I don't go home for this, it will raise red flags for her. I considered faking the flu and staying here. I decided to just go home. If I don't go home, it will affect the plan to come back with my son and grandsons. I have not confronted her. We have talked some, but mainly have texted. I am positive she suspects nothing at this point. I gave the code for gate and house to PI. He took an IT guy and was able to access her desktop while she was at work. Some way he is receiving her texts now from iCloud. I don't really understand how he was able to accomplish this, but he did. I'm not in contact with the PI or lawyer every day. I have no idea what all he has been able to find. I have an appointment to meet with him and my attorney next Friday morning. 1 week from tomorrow. It is hard enough for me to control my anger with what I know now. I believe I am spending unnecessarily at this point for PI. However, the attorney wants me to continue to gather evidence until I confront her. I plan to get what he has next week and hopefully be able to quit paying him. I always go to camp the week before and after Christmas. She'll suspect nothing if I can hold off slapping the crap out of her when I get home. I will leave again Sunday. My son and grandsons are scheduled to hunt the week before Christmas, as we do every year. I have not seen her in almost 2 weeks. I never thought the love I had for her could turn to this much hatred and contempt. My plan is to gift wrap the evidence I get next Friday. After Christmas lunch, we will open gifts with our children and grandchildren. I'm going to let her open hers last. Tell her to show our children, take her phone, and leave. My next stop will be the doctor's house, where I will deliver the evidence to his wife and family. I will then file for divorce on the grounds of adultery. Thanks for allowing me to share my story real time. It is the only outlet I have at this point. Let's see what the community thinks. Life Yogurt Closet 98 says, "Don't forget to let your mother-in-law and her sisters know. He's your primary care physician. Ask your lawyer about lawsuits and filing a complaint to his hospital. He will lose his license and basically everything he has. Good luck, OP. Sorry this has happened. P.S. Take her phone and tablet and laptop." Update 3. I was advised to move my updates to this sub from r/cheating stories. I came home from the camp last Thursday evening. She was home. I was exhausted from not being able to sleep, and our conversation was minimal. Friday night, we had our Christmas gathering with her mother and 3 sisters at our house. I was able to pull that off without her suspecting anything. Saturday was gone most of the day, and after church Sunday, I returned to my camp. My son and grandson met me and my oldest grandson there Sunday night. We hunted all week, and I have returned home tonight. We have no plans for tomorrow. Our children and grandchildren will attend church with us Sunday, and then come here for Christmas lunch and gifts. I have been able to control my emotions in a manner no one has suspected the life-changing situation I am in. I have reconsidered the method I am going to use to reveal her affair. I'm not going to confront her on Christmas. I have an appointment with my attorney Tuesday morning. I intend to get all the evidence he and the investigator have gathered, along with the divorce papers he has drawn up. I intend to have my son and my 2 daughters come to our house for a family meeting and expose her affair to them, as well as confront her at the same time. I want to do this Tuesday night. I'm not sure at this point how I will confront the doctor and his wife. My intentions are to destroy his reputation and career through any means available to me. Thanks for your messages of support. Update 4. We made it through Christmas with my children, grandchildren, and in-laws. Monday morning, I went and saw my pastor and told him the situation. He facilitated a meeting with me and affair partner's wife. We agreed to confront our spouses on Monday night, requiring them to write a detailed letter of the affair. I did and did not allow my wife to say anything to me. I told her I knew she was in Vegas and who she was with. I told her to write the letter of detail, and if there was any contradiction to evidence I had, there would be no chance of reconciliation. Tuesday morning, I met with the attorney and obtained evidence collected and received advice from my attorney. Tuesday afternoon, met with the affair partner's employer demanding he be terminated. He was today. Tuesday night, my children came and their mother told them what she had done. They are shocked and hurt. My wife went home with my daughter and remains there still. I'm trying to decide my best course of action. I see no path to reconciliation. I will determine what other action to take with affair partner after I am sure of what I need to do with my own marriage. She confessed to everything and gave an answer to every specific detail I required in her letter. Thank you for your well wishes. I am doing fine considering where I am. Giag27 from the community says, "It's scorched earth time. Way to go, OP." Regarding update, I am going to try to answer your questions. Did you ask her why? Of course I asked why. She said she didn't know why. She described to me and my children that she felt like an addict. She knew she was destroying her life, but would not stop. She told our children, "No child should ever have to be disappointed or embarrassed by their mother's immorality, that they didn't deserve the shame of a whore." I am not going to say all that she had said to me, simply because I don't know if any of it is true. 2. How did she act? She's completely destroyed, remorseful, begging for forgiveness from me and children. She does understand what she has done. 3. How did my children react? By one telling her and the other two agreeing, it would have been easier to bury you than this. 4. Do I want to be married? Sure I do. That's why I didn't ever cheat on my wife. 5. Have I met the affair partner's wife and told her? Yes, we have met twice, communicated by phone and text several times. 6. Do I not care for his family by having him fired? I care more for the next patient's wife he gets a hard-on for. 7. Am I divorcing her? I don't know. 8. Have I sought therapy? Not at this time. What I need is for this to go away. If you know of anyone that can make that happen, then by all means, I will do therapy. I can tell you that every situation is unique in its elements, personalities, and complexities. I could and would have dealt with differently at a different time of my life than I am now. It is very easy to know what to do when you are behind a keyboard. Some of you are keyboard experts, but are not very skilled in advice. Some of the comments you have made are without you knowing every nuance I'm dealing with. Often have been a great source of strength. One Redditor has been a valuable source of wisdom, knowledge, and encouragement to me. He has helped me in more ways than I will even try to thank him for. It is very strange of my personality to have found such a kindred spirit with an anonymous soul. That is about all the questions I remember, but I am going to browse some subs for a while, so hell, just ask me whatever you want to know. It ain't like I got to spend quality time with my wife. She ain't here. Oh yeah, why is she at my daughter's and not my in-laws? Her dad is dead. Her mom is 84. What the hell? I didn't want her mom to have to deal with this BS. She is at my baby daughter and her husband's home. They have no children yet. The chance of her turning any of my children against me does not exist, but that is especially true of this little Spitfire. She is 10 years younger than her sister and 12 years than her brother. She spent more hours in a deer stand, bay boat, office, truck with me than we could even begin to count. She won't even let her say the true things that are bad about me, much less lies. We got one quick reaction from the community. Life Yogurt Closet 98 says, "I'm surprised no one asked how did it start. Answer if you want, OP, but I don't really care. It shouldn't have started." She got off on the fact that every time she did this, she betrayed everyone. And that's the problem with the biggest cheaters. They have to keep the image of the perfect marriage because that's where their high comes from. The idea it can be ruined at any moment gets them going. Now, she can't get her fix anymore. She's been exposed. She will withdraw and she will try to rebuild the image she shattered. Like a dang junkie. Again, sorry OP, you deserved better. P.S. You raised those kids right, and it's best she stay with someone that can watch her. She will be 5 shades of hysterical for a minute. Who the hell asked, "Are you worried about what you're doing to his family financially?" OP didn't do a dang thing. 2 jerks did. Not to mention, a family physician for that many years, and with the extra income for all those trips, I doubt he's hurting. But he will with a divorce. I just don't understand why someone would be willing to ruin everything that she had. She had a great life, or so it seems. Like, what does the doctor have that you didn't? Additionally, I think you really contained yourself and acted with grace, OP. It would have been easy to release the beast. You did what's best for you by staying away. I was skeptical about confronting her at Christmas with your family, but I think having your wife break the news was the smartest choice. She had to fess up and take responsibility for what she did. And for your kids to say it would have been easier to bury her, wow, that's gotta hurt. Update. Plans for the weekend. I had a brother who was 14 years younger than me. He was a college professor and lived 8.5 hours from our hometown. He died in a motorcycle accident in 2017. He left one daughter who is now 24, married, and lives in another state than her mother, but has brought her new baby home to see her mother and in-laws. My sister-in-law has never remarried. I called my sister-in-law last night to find out when my niece was going back home. She is actually staying this week with her husband's parents, who are about 40 minutes from my sister-in-law. My children are smothering me, so I am taking a road trip. I'm going to meet my great-nephew, who is named after my brother and me. I will arrive late tonight. I asked her to reserve me a hotel room, to which she replied, "There is no way in hell that's happening. You will stay here, and we will watch movies and eat ice cream." I don't know when I'm coming back. I have not spoken to, seen, or communicated with my wife since Tuesday night. I have blocked her number. I called my son and told him where I was going, and for him to go by the office and lease a rental property my company owns. It is a house renters moved out of and has been completely renovated with the intent to sell. I told him to inform his mother to come and get what she needed from our house, and move in the rent house. She is to pay rent to my son, who will pay my company. I'm having a new keypad installed on the gate and doors to my house Wednesday, so if she needs her stuff, now is the time to fetch it. Update. Good weekend. When I called my sister-in-law, I told her I would be coming alone to see my niece and her new baby. She asked me why my wife is not coming, and I just said there are some issues and I will let you know when I get there. I got here around midnight, and she had just took a hot pound cake out of the oven. It was the best thing I have eaten in weeks. I gave her all the details of my saga. I have teared up a few times, but as I went through all of it with her, I broke down and wept. She was very supportive and wept with me. She stroked my bursted ego, and I guess I felt better after we talked. I went upstairs to bed about 3 o'clock yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, she cooked me bacon and eggs for breakfast, and as I ate, she told me that I may make the rules and run the show back home, but not at her house. She then proceeded to tell me my schedule. At 1 o'clock, I had a haircut appointment. I needed a haircut when this all happened, and it was overdue, so I agreed. After the haircut, we were going to Dillard's to buy some clothes to fit me. I have lost over 30 pounds in 3 weeks. I was going to go with her to a friend's house that was having a bonfire and fireworks for a little while last night. I was going to go with her to church today, and she was going to go visit with her parents this afternoon. She is cooking supper tonight, and her daughter and son-in-law are coming to eat and visit. Her son-in-law is taking me deer hunting tomorrow with dogs on an 8,000-acre timber co-lease he is a part of. He is off all week, and if I want, I can stay and hunt all week if I want to, and she will wash my clothes and feed me. I have never done it, so I don't know what to expect. We are not going to talk about my problems again until I leave to go home. So hell, I did what I was told to do. She went with me to a regular salon. On the way there, she said I'm going to use you to have some fun. When I introduce you, I'm going to give them your first and middle name. I asked her, "What the hell?" And she just laughed and said, "Just play along." I'm going to give these witches something to talk about. My middle name is my mother's maiden name, and that's how she introduced me to her hairstylist. During my haircut, she asked me where I was from, and I told her Detroit. There's no way my accent will allow me to be from Detroit. My sister-in-law never missed a beat and said, "He's a logger." Next stop, Dillard's. I've not been shopping for anything in years. Wound up buying 3 new pants, 4 shirts, 2 pairs of shoes, a tie. Can you believe $75 for a tie? And a Hart Schaffer Marks suit. According to her, it is the only suit my brother would wear. I did not know he was so peculiar about his clothes. I also bought a new belt. The suit had to be hemmed, and she convinced them to do it while we waited. On the way home, she told me I was going to be her date for the party in church. So I was. She told me to look at her like I looked at a new gun, so they would buy it. I went along with her, except at the party, I was from Atlanta, and I sold road graders and had been married and divorced 4 times. At church this morning, we got there late and left early because she doesn't want to be struck by lightning for lying in church. She sat right up under me and held my hand, and we walked out. I have had a good time looking like Dumb and Dumber with my 46-year-old sister-in-law. She has cut up the whole time, and I have laughed, genuinely laughed. I have not done that for 3 weeks. I'm going to hunt tomorrow and may stay until Wednesday, but I have to be at work Friday. I have talked to my son a couple of times. He thinks they need to try to get her some medical help. She evidently is not saying much and stays in her bedroom at my daughter's house most of the time. Her phone is dead, and he and my other daughter communicate with her through my youngest. The affair partner's wife sent her a long text in which she called her everything but a child of God. I have not communicated with my wife. She asked where I was and told my daughter I would never be able to forgive her, and she didn't blame me for not forgiving. My son said she looks like death. I still see no path to reconciliation. However, I am not going to file for divorce until I am completely sure. Some have said divorce and reconcile if I change my mind. That seems like a waste of time, energy, and money. When I decide to divorce, it will be final. I also am not going to sue a affair partner if I don't divorce. If I do divorce, I will sue him to defray what the divorce settlement will be. Otherwise, I don't want his money. I have come to terms with the fact that this is not going to end soon, and that my life will never be the same. I started keeping a journal today. I have realized it helps to order my thoughts by writing them down. Thanks again for your encouragement. It has helped me. Update. Wife is hospitalized. My daughter took my wife to the ER yesterday morning. She was dehydrated. Tests showed her kidney function was not what it should be. She was exhibiting signs of confusion. She was admitted, drip started, and labs will be done again today. A psych evaluation has also been ordered for her. They were told to expect her to be in the hospital for most of the week. My son contacted her sisters and told them she was hospitalized and that I was out of town. Her sisters and mother are unaware of her affair to my knowledge. I plan on going and sitting down with her mother and oldest sister this weekend. Looking back, I should have done that this past Friday before I left town. I'm still at my sister-in-law's house. Spark plug. I hunted yesterday, but it is raining today, and I opted not to go again this morning. Last night's menu was fried steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy, homemade biscuits, apple cobbler, and ice cream. She had a couple of things to do this morning, but has instructed me to be dressed when she gets back and be ready to do some rambling, whatever that means. I told her rainy days were good for two things, and I wasn't sleepy. She came back with, "Your children don't need both of their parents in the hospital from dehydration." So I'm going rambling, I guess. I'm glad I'm here. I really don't want to talk to my friends just yet, nor do I want to be at work. I have my laptop and phone, an assistant coworker that has been with me 25 years, so business is being conducted as usual. He is aware of the affair because he was the one who made me aware of the Vegas trip. While hashing all of this out on Reddit has been helpful to me, I know you are tiring of my posts. I have started a journal and can just write there if you have lost interest in my story. Thanks again for all of your messages. Many have been very thought-provoking and helpful. My mind is in the clearest place it has been since the text I received of her and affair partner. Thanks in no small part to you. Her sister. I called her sister and gave her a basic summary of the affair and what led to hospitalization of my wife. She was genuinely shocked and profusely apologetic and sympathetic. My mother-in-law is leaving tomorrow on a trip with 3 other widows she is friends with. My daughters call it the BHH gang, blue-haired hoe. They like to take bus tours. She said she was not going to tell her about the affair, nor psych evaluation, just that my wife's condition did not seem serious enough for me to return home from trips. That I was with others and that would have to return with me, and it was not necessary for me to come as of now. She also said my mother-in-law was very worried about me when they left my house, that I did not seem myself and looked very troubled. The sisters are going to help my daughters and daughter-in-law with hospital stay, and one of them will take her home with them until she is able to move from our house. I called my baby daughter and told her to go by the office and get a check, go cash it, buy a card, and take it by her grandmother's house. I have a name stamp at the office she can sign the card with, to put a note in it to enjoy her trip and that I loved her. So, thanks again for Reddit catching something that I needed to do I had not thought of. Going to your sister-in-law's was another great move, OP. You're a smart man, and it's nice to see her take care of you like that. It's hard to hear that you lost so much weight in such a short amount of time. When we're in the thick of it, we can't see what it's doing to our bodies. We're entirely on autopilot. You needed this, OP. And as for your wife being in the hospital, she's got people around her to take care of her. There's not much you could have been able to do anyways. Update on wife's condition. My wife's kidney function has improved, but according to a psychiatric evaluation, she has a psychotic break. She's confused about where she is and believes she and I were involved in a traffic accident, and I am dead. She is upset my funeral was held without her. She's crying and mumbling things they can't understand. Tonight they moved her to a hospital specializing in mental trauma. They expect she will fully recover in days or weeks. She can have no contact with anyone for 10 days. My middle daughter is going to be the family contact for afternoon updates until she can be visited. What an unbelievable, unnecessary mess this has been. I'm still at Sparky's, and she scheduled me a 9:30 appointment in the morning with a psychiatrist she saw for 2 years following my brother's tragic death. I came up and got my shower. When I was putting on my pajamas to go back downstairs, I discovered all of my perfectly good white Fruit of the Loom boxer shorts were gone. They had been replaced by boxer briefs from Duluth Trading Company. The band around each one says, "Go Buck Naked." They are red, black, neon blue, maroon, and dark and light gray. And when I asked her about it, she said, "The 60s called and wanted them ugly drawers back. Plus, the boys need to breathe." Update. Previous posts are on my profile page. I returned to my home Thursday night. I had appointments Thursday morning with a psychologist my sister-in-law used following the death of my brother, her husband. It was not a good meeting. In all fairness to the counselor, I went into it reluctantly and was very angry at the time. I felt very uncomfortable discussing the details of my wife's affair with her. I had to be at work Friday for a contract addendum meeting that required my presence and signature on a modified agreement. I met with my children Friday afternoon to discuss their mother's status. The clinician requested we submit a plan for her discharge to help them fully prepare her in her treatment. I remained firm she couldn't return home to live, and they should prepare her to move into a rental property. Her status report today was encouraging in the progress she made over the weekend. They are also wanting sessions with her family as early as the end of this week. I explained to my children I would not be attending any family sessions. I expressed to them her recovery was not on me, and I was not going to participate in it. I'm not sure they fully agree with my approach, but that is the approach I'm taking. I did commit to not filing for divorce in the next 6 months. I went to church Sunday and sat where we have sat for nearly 40 years. None of the affair partner's family was there, and I didn't inquire of my pastor as to their status because I don't give a darn. I met this afternoon with a psychologist recommended by my pastor. It was a productive meeting to me. He is 74 years old. He works part-time from an office behind his home. He explained to me the goals he would like to reach with me. I agreed I needed to obtain every step he outlined. I like him and am comfortable with him. I agreed to meet on a weekly basis. An investigator is scheduled to come to my office from the State Medical Board Examiner's office Wednesday morning. This follows a complaint filed by an attorney against affair partner. I will be required to give a sworn deposition concerning the affair. I resent every step I have to take as a result of her affair. I don't believe she is faking a mental breakdown. However, I am finding it difficult to be sympathetic. I think I have caught you up. Update. I have not posted an update recently because not much has happened. I will try to give you a brief summary. My wife is still in treatment and has agreed to stay there for 30 days. She is better, but my children concur she needs more in-house treatment. I have not spoken to her directly since December 27th. She withdrew from her retirement account to cover the costs. I have not sat down with my mother-in-law. She and her daughters have visited my wife. I texted her I would come by and talk when I felt I could. She has called to check on me several times. She is sad, but also strong. No news on affair partner, but his house is for sale. I don't know if they are separated or together. I have met twice for counseling, and I'm actually looking forward to my meeting Monday. It has helped me. The affair is well known and being rumored vigorously, it seems. I continue to go to church and hold my head up, even though I am thoroughly embarrassed by her actions. My children and grandchildren are well. I have made myself busy at work, and managing my son's re-election campaign has helped me be occupied. It seems I am noticing more pretty women than ever these days. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, just something I have become more aware of. I think that is all. Last update. My wife was released from hospital Tuesday. She went home from there to a rental property my company owns. It is an older house, but has been completely renovated from the stud walls. I still have not spoken to her since December 27th. She has written 2 letters stating her remorse as well as seeking my forgiveness. I have not responded with the exception of telling my children to let her know I have read them and that I will contact her when I am ready to discuss the past and the future with her. We have a lady who has worked as a housekeeper with my wife for over 20 years. I sent men to my house, and under the direction of my daughter and housekeeper, they moved a bedroom suite and other necessities to set up my wife a comfortable place to stay. They purchased new furniture, and all of this has been ready for her release from the hospital for over a week. She has made arrangements with the housekeeper to employ her every day for as long as necessary. This gives her a driver and sitter for the days. Her sisters are staying at night for as long as it is required. I had supper with my mother-in-law at her home Tuesday night and explained my position to her. She was very understanding and expressed her support for me. I understand from my son that his grandmother visited his mother last night and was less than sympathetic to her. Evidently, she did not spare my wife's feelings with what she told her. This is the first time they discussed my wife's betrayal. I'm going to Sparky's tomorrow. She has tickets for a concert Saturday night. She and a girlfriend were going, but the friend is not going due to the funeral of a coworker Saturday. We will fly tomorrow afternoon to North Carolina and return Sunday afternoon. I'm looking forward to doing something different, and hopefully I will enjoy it. I'm actually enjoying counseling and look forward to the weekly sessions. It seems to help me compartmentalize the pieces of my life. I think you are right not to attend the family sessions, OP. I think this is a situation that your wife really put herself into. It's not your responsibility to fix her. She needs to do that for herself. Your responsibility is taking care of what you can and do what's best for you. Moreover, it's nice to see you are going to therapy, and it's refreshing to hear that you're enjoying it. Additionally, there's no saying you have to come up with what you want to do regarding the divorce right away. Take your time. Create the space you need at first. You've done wonderfully. You'll know what to do. What are your thoughts? What would you do? Would you have gone to family sessions? Would you have confronted her sooner? Let us know below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss out. If you want to listen to more stories from me, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.